Hi, welcome everybody, it's Mike Newton down here at a very cold Lytham Golf Academy today, and I've got a new product or two new products to review for you in irons, and it's the new TaylorMade M6 and M5 irons. So as always, we've got GC2 HMT set up, going to hit a batch of shots with each of these model irons, compare some numbers, see its performance, and also give you my personal feedback of the looks, the feel, and how that sort of performs, and a little bit maybe the player and the golfer that it's going to sort of suit. Okay, so we're going to start off with the M6 iron first, batch of shots with this, and talk a little bit about technology with the M6, maybe against the M4, its predecessor. Is basically, it's this speed bridge. So we're seeing this connection between that top edge of the head into this bottom section. And this is the big sort of talking point that TaylorMade are producing in the irons now, speed bridge, and how that can create more ball speed. So speed bridge allows basically them to make a deeper speed pocket in the bottom section of the head, so deep inside there, the undercut, it's a very deep sort of section. We've got that speed slot in the bottom of the head that we've seen M4, but we do lose the face slots now, because TaylorMade is saying they're actually they're not needed anymore because of the speed bridge technology, easy for me to say. So it goes deeper, so they create more strengthening of the head now between that top section and the bottom section, because obviously they've gone deeper in that cavity. So speed bridge creates an extra stiffness in the head, so that energy can then be transferred back into the club face and into the golf ball, as opposed to losing energy through the flexing of the upper to lower part of the iron. So that's what speed bridge is all about. So ultimately, as the talk is across many of the products and the new products of 2019, it's all about ball speed. And obviously with the M6, it's that iron that is more forgiving. So M5, we should see a slight little bit more of a smaller package, and maybe just suited to a player who may just want to look at something a little bit smaller and may just want that little bit more playability, but still needs that sort of ball speed and that forgiveness. Okay, so I've got a 7-iron here. I'm going to get this first one hit, and putting that down by the golf ball, it very much looks like an M4 to me as I pop it down. The big difference is obviously we don't see the the face slots now with M6, so it's more of a cleaner sort of look in a way. Got that white bottom groove, fairly thick to sort of top edge, and obviously a bit of offset there. Yeah, and that sounds a little bit different. Doesn't sound as loud maybe as M4. Obviously the thing that we've sort of found with M4, it was quite a clicky sort of sound, which it didn't really sort of bother me, and I think it feels, for that type of iron, it feels a little bit more sort of faster off the face when you hear that sort of more high-pitched sort of clicky noise. That definitely didn't sound as clicky. That's a nice strike, solid connection, looks to be flying very nicely. That seems to have gone quite a long way there. Yeah, so I've set myself out 175 from the green. That's carried 182, 128 ball speed there. So some good ball speed there. Now we know I'm going to talk about lofts, you know, as you're probably waiting for me to talk about this. So 7-iron is lofted at 28.5 degrees. So it's exactly the same loft as the 7-iron that we saw last year's M4. Which is obviously strong. You know, it is a strong lofted golf club, so that tends to obviously see that ball speed creep up. But obviously with the sort of CG, and obviously we've got that fluted hosel, we don't see it on this fitting iron because of the way that it's connected in, but on the irons that you would buy, you have that fluted hosel, so they're saving weight there, reposition that weight lower and deeper in that head for more higher sort of launching golf shots. So even though the lofts are quite strong, they still launch really high. So I think a lot of golfers that I sort of see and they comment on those stronger lofts say, yes, that's going to go stronger. That 7-iron effectively is a 6-iron in a way, maybe 5.5 iron. But it doesn't launch like a 5.5 or a 6-iron. It launches like a 7-iron. It launches pretty high. Again, all to do with that CG placement in the head. Okay, that's a slight low toe, but again, that's flighted really high. Looks to be online nicely as well, which it is. And stopping pretty quick there, 177 carry, so just dropped a little bit there. That's that strike, and that spin's just popped up a tiny bit at 6,200 there. So as I just struck it a little bit lower in the club face, just pop that spin up a little bit there. But again, quite an accurate golf shot. So accuracy wise at the moment, it's working really nicely. That's a nice strike. Yeah, that's a lovely strike there. Nice connection. Again, pretty accurate there, hitting that green nicely, stopping fairly quick. Obviously, we're not going to expect this to stop massively quick with that particular sort of loft. That's spinning just under 5,900 for a 7.9. Loft at 28 degrees isn't too bad. We'll look at those numbers a little bit more detail. We're going to switch the head over, keep the same shaft, which, to be honest, this is 1/2 inch long. It's an X-Flex Dynamic Gold 120, so a little bit more in my spec. But we're going to keep the same shaft, switch the head over into M5. Right, okay, so we've got M5 head in our hands now, and the difference really with M5, we're going to see a slightly more compact head design, but really through the technology we're seeing a very similar thing that we're seeing in the M6. So we've got that speed bridge doing exactly the same aspects that I talked about in the M6. And maybe the little bit difference with the M5, we've now got a multi-material head, so we've actually got some tungsten in the head, and that is obviously moving CG and creating it into sort of slightly different positions in the club face for maybe a little bit more of a different spin model. With the loft changing here, so again 7.9, but the loft is now 30 degrees, so it's still in that stronger area, so it still classes more of that distance iron. But what TaylorMade is saying, you've got a little bit more control, a little bit more precision with this against maybe the M6. So surely ways of putting that down by the golf ball, definitely see a little bit of a smaller blade length in the head, a little bit less offset than M6, but still a bit of offset there, and it's still a fairly thickish top line, so it's still quite a confidence inspiring blade as you put it down by the golf ball there, but I can definitely see it's just a slightly more compact head. So for that player maybe just doesn't want that big bulky look, but obviously needs that forgiveness and still wants that distance, then this M5 is a good option. Okay, so that was a little bit low in the face, a little bit clean, still flighted absolutely fine on that particular shot, just slightly, just missing that right edge fractionally. 180, so decent distance there. That's actually spun down quite a bit there. That's spun around that 5,000 mark. I'll probably expect to see this spin a little bit more with it having a little bit more loft. Not seen it on that first shot. Okay, that was a better strike. Bit better directional as well, hitting that green, pin high, and that looks to be stopping a bit quicker. So clearly that strike was a bit better there, and that spun at 6,700. So it was a bit of a jump of spin there, wasn't there? You know, cut that one a little bit clean, that first one. It had a little bit of a weaker cut to it, just missed that green on the right, but the spin came down pretty low there. We've still got that speed slot in the bottom of here. Again, we haven't got the face slots in M5. Second one's much better strike, and that's a bit of a better spin number there at 6,700. You can see as that came into land, a little bit more control. Okay, just a little bit into the mat here, just moving it from little thins to good strikes to slightly in the mat. Again, that stopped quick, just dropped a bit of distance there, 169. Ball speed just dropped fractionally there, but again, good level of sort of control with that one comes into land. So the clear that thinny one just dropped a lot of spin for me. Yeah, that when I saw that thinny one with the M6, it sort of popped a bit of spin up there, didn't it? Bit of a difference there. So what you'll also see on the M5 is a sort of chamfered front edge. That leading edge on the blade is sort of chamfered off. It's not quite a sharp leading edge. So this is what TaylorMade is saying would lead to exceptional crisp ball striking. So it's maybe not quite as sharp on that leading edge. It's very difficult to see this maybe on the camera, but it's just sort of chamfered off a little bit from that leading edge. So maybe that turf interaction might just help to be a little bit more improved for that ball striking. That was a nice strike. Lovely high ball flight. Feels nice. The sound of it is very nice. The acoustics is good. Accurate shot. Again, that stopped pretty quick. 175, 126 ball. So good ball spin there, speed there, and 6,800 spin. So good controllable there. Maybe it's just seeing that slightly, apart from that very first shot, we hit that slightly higher spin number against M6, as we'd expect, probably because of loft. But let's look at those numbers a little bit more detail between M6 and M5. Okay, so looking at numbers, got M6 on the top, M5 bottom, so 95 against 95 club head speed, pretty much where my mark is. Ball speed 126 on average with M6, 124.5 with M5. So a little drop off on ball speed, probably as we expect, that slight little bit gain of loft He's probably just not going to create as much ball speed as maybe what you see with M6. Obviously strikes will change that a little bit. You see launch just popping up a little bit higher with M5, as you'd expect, that little bit more loft, and also that spin at 6.3 average. Again, that first one was a bit of a weird one in a way. That lot was a bit of a low one there, but again, it was a bit of a poorer strike, so probably just pull that averages down, so probably get that around that 6.5, 6.6 mark, which is a decent spin number for still a game improvement iron. M6 around that sort of 6,000 mark, you know, we'd expect to see that a little bit lower because of the loft again. So looking at distance number 179 with M6 and 174 carry with M5. Right, okay guys, so there we go. There's M5 and M6 irons hit and maybe compared against each other. No real shock really though there with the numbers in terms of the difference between the two irons. We expect to see maybe a little bit more ball speed, a little bit more distance with M6 purely because of that loft change at 28.5 degree against that 30 degree. And obviously the packages in terms of the way the look sit behind the golf ball is a little bit different. So it's hitting two maybe types of golfers there. And obviously M5 mid ball, that player might just don't want that quite as that big a look, but still wants that forgiveness and a bit of ball speed. And to be honest, the numbers are pretty good there. A little bit better than maybe what expected. Sometimes what we saw with M4 was the spin was really quite low, and maybe even its predecessor there was M2, very low sort of spin numbers, which we know the lower that spin, the further that ball goes out there, doesn't it? So it was nice to see there's a little bit of element of control. Yeah, 6,000 isn't bad for a 28.5 degree 7 iron. So there's an element of control there, even though we're getting that ball speed up there, and obviously that forgiveness. Is it quicker than anything else out in the market? No, but it's pretty quick ball speed, and we've seen some good results with M4 product, M3 product last year, and we're probably going to see the same maybe with these two. You know, coming through. I think the sound difference is better. So I think that's definitely an improvement, and I think that speed bridge, is what TaylorMade is saying, creates a stiffer body there, which is creating different acoustic sounds, and for me it's a better sounding product against M4 and M3. Okay, let me know your thoughts on there. Comment down below. M6, M5, is that speed bridge, what your thoughts on that? Is that something you go and maybe try yourself? Love to hear your thoughts as always. If you enjoyed the video, then please do share it around with your friends. Smash that like button, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and obviously hit that bell icon, get notifications as soon as more videos come. I'm going to a lot of comparison videos in the planner here going forward, so there's going to be a lot of videos coming your way, so be the first to watch it by hitting that bell icon. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.